audio test. Okay, I'll turn myself down a little bit. Then maybe I need it up. Alright, how's this going? I might need to adjust the the video audio. But first, before we start the video, I think it's... Hello! Hey, how you doing? Here. First off, let me make sure I'm gonna spell your name right, or sound out your name right. Is it Chimeriquement? Okay. I wasn't sure. Wasn't sure if it was a Chimeriquement, Chimeriquement, or Chimeriquement. Were any of them correct? Chimeriquement. I'm just gonna go with Chim. I'm not adept at the French language. First off, let's I'm trying to... that's right. No. I need to change this. I need to show off. First off, let's do your Twitter. So anyone watching or watching the VOD, hello, Flowers for Joy. Welcome in. Hey. Before we start the game, we're gonna go over some of Chim's. I decided to call them Chim. Social media and the itch page. So this is their Twitter account here. Chimeriquement or Chim, or this one right here. So go ahead and check them out on Twitter. They have a couple other visual novels, I believe, right? I believe you are a solo developer? You do this on your own? I thought so, okay. So yes, they are a solo dev. So even more of a shout out to them. Respect. They were a part of the Otome Jam that ended like last week. And over here we have their itch page. Let me go to the top. The title of the game we're playing today is When the Wind Blew You Away. So you can play it in web browser, or you can download the game and play it on the computer. So this is a slice of life game. Let me see. Here we go. Peter Bryan and Amanda Evans were best friends during childhood. But one day Peter left, without any warning, and without telling Amanda. Ever since, she has felt resentment toward her childhood friend, but also felt lost. To make new friends, she resorted to being as generic as she could. But when the wind brings Peter back into her life 10 years later, maybe Amanda can find some answers about Peter, his moving out, and her feelings and herself. So that is the plot of the story. We have the characters: Amanda Evans, 17 years old. Peter Brine, also 17. And, let me ask, is this like a choice you can make, or just... I see you have two designs you can choose from or something like that? Correct me if I'm wrong. That's pretty cool. Alright, and the download for it is right down here at the bottom. And even though the demo plus games category says mature, it's not mature. The rating is 10 plus. Twitch just doesn't have a category for games and demos that are not mature. Which they do need, because otherwise not everyone's gonna try it out, because they're misled. I mean, I get they're trying to cover their bases, but I mean... yeah, you get it. Anyway, yes. So also, if you played a game, go ahead and give a review. You guys always like those. And with that said, let's get to the game. Let me change it. Yeah, so review for the devs. Give them some compliments. All that jazz. Say hi. So let's start the game. All right, start. There we go. Ohio there! My name is Kawaii-chan, and I'm happy to meet you. Welcome to When the Wind Blew You Away, a visual novel about childhood friends, reconnection, love, and... wind, I guess? Ooh-woo! Well, never mind. So, I'm here to explain to you some specificities of the visual novel. As you can hear when I speak, it goes click click. It's so cute. I love the little character here. She's the cute one. I finally have a voice to express all my clever ideas. But I know it can bother some. So feel free to deactivate the typewriter effect in the settings if that's your case. She's a cutie. But this game has also another specificity. I have trouble with that word. You can play with two different sprite styles, a shoujo or a painterly art style. Isn't that cool? It is pretty cool. It's a very unique thing, actually. I don't think I've ever encountered another game that allowed you to do such a thing. Do you know I have an alter ego too? Let me show you. Kill me. What? No, no, no. Sorry for that. Anyway. Woo. Now just click on the photograph of the art style you want to play with. But don't worry too much about your choice. If you change your mind, you can always change the sprite style in the settings. Right. They're both really cute, honestly. So this is the shoujo and this is their painterly. They both have their own appeal. Let's be a little unique due to painterly style. I know. You chose the painterly art style? Have fun! I am the biggest tree of the forest, and no wind, no gust will bend my glorious trunk. Peter said with his usual stuttering, proudly putting his hands on his hips and standing straight and proud as a sequoia. It's a tree, I know that. I don't know how it's pronounced, though. Yeah, Is there a settings, or do I just need to turn my mic up? I can just turn my mic up. Alright. How's that? Let's try that. Tell me if it's too loud or too quiet. Okay. I stand where I stand, and I'll never leave. He disclaimed, trying to intimidate a rusty old man's voice. This managed to make me laugh. What if the wind is stronger than you, Mr. Big Tree? Stronger than me? That old big tree? No way. I've been here for centuries. I've seen more winds than you'll ever see in your life. And look, still standing here at the top of the world. The wind can blow, but it can't take me away. He solemnly announced, showing a mouth full of teeth. They're cuties. But he lied. Peter did leave. He was blown away. He must not have weighed very much. Who am I to say? I actually did blow away once. I shouldn't be speaking. And I mean, that's life, isn't it? Parents moving in or out. He was a child. He didn't leave me on purpose. But I've always wondered, why didn't he tell me he was moving out? I can imagine that would be quite a bit hurtful if your, like, best friend suddenly just moved. Hello, Sila. Sila. I'm gonna call you Sila. Hello. Welcome in. Sorry I butchered your name. Surely enough, his parents must have told him they were leaving town. We could have exchanged our parents' phone numbers. We could have stayed in touch. We could have remained friends. But he left, without bothering to notify me. And sure, he underestimated how much it would hurt me. We were children, after all. And everyone says that childhood friendships are bound to fade away. But somehow, I believe Peter and I could have been different. That we would last. That we were friends, soulmates, or something. But in the end, we were nothing. Just children playing pretend. Pretend to be a tree. Pretend to always stay. Pretend to be friends. When Peter left, I struggled making friends. I was always stuck with him, and him with me. We were in our own little world, in our own little bubble, that nobody could burst. As years passed by, I managed to make some friends, but somehow, never anything as deep as what Peter and I had. And I know, it's silly to call a friendship that stopped in childhood deep. Childhood friendships are deep because they start in childhood, but develop throughout the years. Peter and I didn't develop anything, and the years have separated us. Well, the irony is beautiful. Being named Joy, and great. I'm gonna go to prefs and see if I can turn the background music down just a little bit. There we go. Let's turn these down just a little bit here. Alright. Alright. Wanted to wait for a good stopping point before I change this. The wind won. Yeah, homework was really hard. Like, why are we doing math and philosophy? Well, thank you. I'm always glad to have new people here. New and old. Anyone here. Right? I mean, we didn't drop math for nothing. Preach, girl. I comment with a laugh, while I talk with a few classmates of mine about that essay that made me stay up all night. I thought it was a university thing. It's your senior year. You'd like to consider preparing yourself for university. God. We don't all want to study philosophy. I sure don't. To be honest, I'm not sure I dislike philosophy all that much, but I don't really know. It feels easier to criticize it with others. That is a thing. It really, when you're in a group, like in school, it really is, it's kind of like what's it called? Instinct to agree with the majority. I don't know. I don't know, it seems to be a thing for like just growing up in school. Yeah, I guess peer pressure. Yay! Thank you for following! Hey! Hello, Chattercap! Welcome in! Glad to have you all here. Makes me happy. Nobody likes philosophy after all. And I suppose I'm just a nobody. Lost in a sea of other nobodies. I'm nothing special, really. A standard girl having a few acquaintances, not having strong interests. Not since he left. Aww. But never mind. That's a good thing. The more you blend in, the more integrated you are in society. This boy was too special anyway. And even if staying with him was fun, I don't know. Maybe it's better for me to just be a person among the others after all. That's savage, Shattercap. But I guess my internal struggle isn't that big of a deal. Especially considering there is indeed a bagel deer happening today. I think a new guy is joining class. I haven't noticed him, and to be honest, I don't really care. I mean, we're already in April, and the school year ends in June. I don't even understand why his parents couldn't wait until the end of the school year. For his son to go to uni to move in. I guess I'll never know. Not that it's any of my business. For once, for all I care. To be bluntly honest, I don't even know if the guys arrived. After all, I was talking with friends. And we're not in the sort of drama where everyone would notice him at first glance. Oh my god, it's the cute guy! Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm good. After a while, our philosophy teacher enters the classroom and starts calling roll. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I don't know what... Well, I guess I don't. When I named the stream, it wouldn't let me type blow or blue. So I just went with the sound. I'm like, whoosh, that's good enough. So when the wind whoosh you away. That's the new title. Pretty quickly, he mentions a name that has never been pronounced in this classroom. He wished it would. Peter Brine? But that I knew all too well. And as cliché as it is to say, my heart skipped a beat. Peter Brine. The Peter Brine? The one I was friends with when I was a child? There could be a lot of Peters. Even Peter Brines. I mean, this is a pretty common name. Yes, but how many Brines are there? But when the boy answers, there is no doubt. Present. He does have a stutter, like my Peter did. Oh, look at him! And without waiting a second more, I turn to him, so that my eyes confirm what my ears and my heart already know. He looks like him. Of course, you can never tell with the years, but it does look like him. His dark hair strands neglectfully covered the sides of his head. His green eyes are just as soft as I remembered. And surprisingly enough, I can't help but find him handsome. Yeah, that's the word. Handsome. Well, Cutie has indeed appeared. He looks out the window, certainly lost in his own world, as he used to be, locking himself away from people who are not deserving. He must be looking at the tree next to the window. He always loves trees. And I wonder, is he still enthusiastic about them? Is he more discreet? Nostalgic because he doesn't have as much time as before to climb them. Maybe there are his only friends, the only ones he even dared to talk with. I remember he was sometimes picked on at school because of his stammering. People can be dumb. They can be dumb. I've been picked on because of my, as you can probably tell, I stumble over my words lots. I've been picked on because of that in the past. It's like, whatever. Eventually you stop caring too much. Maybe he doesn't even care about trees anymore. Maybe they're just an old memory, blown away by the wind. Just like what I must have been to him now. Aww. He looks so nice. He looks like such a nice guy. It doesn't take long for him to notice he's being looked at, and he lays his eyes on me. I hope he remembers her. If seeing his profile already hurt me, I have to admit seeing his front face like this is beyond compare. This is Peter. Although he has grown and changed, I still recognize this memory I had of him and his traits. He does remember! Oh, he's so cute! He's such a cutie! I'm a sucker for a character blushes. He immediately blushes. He has recognized me. He knows who I am. He knows I'm his Amanda. The one he left behind. The one he never thought he would see again. The one who was a fleeting memory. Something he would have forgotten if fate hadn't brought us together in the classroom. But why? Why now? Why after 10 years? We've grown apart. We're strangers. There's no point. The answer to my question should have come way earlier. I know, his Amanda. Nobody touch him. He's mine. I am his Amanda. Since it'd be ridiculous to endlessly look at each other, I end up turning back to my teacher and leaving Peter's green eyes. I'm gonna guess he still likes trees. He has a leaf on his shirt. So read Kent's text for the next time. Our teacher says under the ringing of the bell, taking a mental note to try not to forget Kent's text. I put all my stuff in my bag and get ready to leave as everyone else. Yet, and of course, someone approaches me, preventing me from running away from this philosophy nightmare. And who else but... Peter! Hi, Amanda Evans. I take a look at him. He really looks like my Peter. The childhood memory that has never faded. Being caught off guard, I can't even properly organize my thoughts to treat his question. Why is this so intense? Shouldn't I have gotten over him already? Over his mysterious disappearance 10 years ago? Finally, my thoughts are less foggy and I can focus. Taking a short breath, I answer, although quite emotive. Yes? Or yes? I answer in a cold voice. Its coldness surprises even me. Yet it doesn't seem to unsettle my interlocutor. It's Peter Brine, from primary school. Do you remember me? Hearing him talk, I take a step back. The stammer. Now that I hear him clearer, I'm sure he's still got stammer. It's him. It's really him. He has a ravishing smile on his face. He looks really pretty. But as soon as I think that, my heart hurts. And I'm back to the day when I was expecting Peter to come. I remember me waiting and waiting and waiting for my 7-year-old Godot every single day. But Godot never came. He never comes, does he? And as nonsensical as it might be, I still feel bitter. He was a child. He had to move out. He didn't decide to, and he didn't realize the full scope of moving out. That's it. That's the whole story. Nothing else to uncover. And to be honest, nothing I should be angry about. But even if I know it's not reasonable, my feelings... Trying to set everything aside, I simply answer. Yes. Oh. Peter lowers his gaze, finally noticing the coldness in my voice. It's nice seeing you again. See you around. He eventually stutters before leaving me alone. Alone, with my thoughts. I was too rude, wasn't I? It was just a childhood, nothing worth being angry about, but I don't know. I still feel the wind of solitude in my heart, trying to chase him away. So strike when he least expects it. And she better strike soon. It seems like the classmates have interest in him. Oh, have you seen the new guy in class? Are you talking about Peter Evans? Or, sorry, that's a man. Are you talking about Peter? They're not married yet. I've already married them. I've already decided. They belong together. My heart has already decided. I see. Quick to remember his name. Kiara jokingly says, elbowing me with a devilish smile, to which I answer by shaking my head. No, it's just that I know him. We attended school together when we were kids. Good, I'm not the only one. Really? Wow, must be weird. You're kidding! It's so cool! I'm sure you have a lot of extra info about him for your favorite friend. For a price. No. Hey, I'm her favorite friend. They're classmates, not friends. But of course I'm not rude enough to say that. It's not the wind that blows them away, it's the money. Yet Julie looks at me with pleading eyes. Please tell me about him. I really need to know every single insignificant detail about him. Help a girl out with her crush. A crush? Uh-oh. Yeah, the guy's beautiful. Pure beauty. Over the top as always, Julie. It's your third crush this week. She must go through guys really quick. But this time it's different. Like, have you seen him? He's so handsome. He's cute, but not... Oh my god, he's so cute. Cute. He is! He's not. He is! He's not! He is! I'm getting bored, to be honest. But once again, I'm not rude. So I zip my mouth and just hope that this discussion stops as soon as possible. It's a fun one. Amanda, what do you think? Isn't he the cutest? If he's cute? Yes, he is. He's even more than that. He really is beautiful. But I don't want to answer that. What is my best way around it? But we're gonna be honest, he's cute. Because he is cute. Julie put her hand to her heart and dramatically disclaims, with her tremulous lips. You're breaking my heart, Amanda. Then she puts her finger on my chest. But answer me. You need to tell me everything about him. I don't know what to say. I mean, he was just in my school and we didn't stay in touch or anything. So I don't think I can help. You just gotta talk to the boy. Forget the rotisserie chicken. It's the rotisserie chin. Kara slaps Julie's back and lets out a hearty laugh. Chimken, yes. The most glorious chicken in all the land. And it's a Chick-fil-A. I think that's how they spell it at the Chick-fil-A commercials or whatever. Chimken. And what a beautiful goddess you are. You have more luck. You have more luck another time. Jeez. At this moment, Peter enters the classroom. He has noise-canceling headphones on his ears and is reading a book. He doesn't want to hear the girls fawning over him. He curiously looks at the classroom and doesn't fail to quickly notice Julie, Kiara, and me. Oh my god, he's looking at us! He puts a gentle smile on his face and waves his hand. I naturally wave him back, but Julie quickly stands in the way, shaking her hands with passion. Peter softly laughs, but his gaze is still on me. Then he immediately goes to his seat and starts reading a book. It's true, he was quite the bookworm when we were children. I suppose that hasn't changed at least. But I don't have time to lose myself in thoughts about how much Peter has changed. Or not. since Julie's antics drag me to another conversation with her and Kiara. One week later. Gosh, I'm not the type to complain about the school's canteen. But today's lunch was horrible, and that's an understatement. It was the cardboard pizza, wasn't it? No wonder they call it deviled kidney. It really comes from hell. The original meal isn't that tasty in itself, but now, a low-cost version of it? God save us. My stomach's still hurting. I head back to the class, wondering how boring literature class is going to be today. Yet approaching the classroom, I hear some noise. Someone hurting a locker? Gosh, I know school can be quite a lot, but I mean, come on. It's not a reason to punch a locker. If they're gonna punch a locker, just make sure it's their own, or else that's just being rude. Walking by, I notice what I should have obviously suspected. Of course it's not someone who's randomly knocking out a poor innocent locker. They're inside the locker, aren't they? Oh no, not yet at least. It's a poor innocent being being pinned against the locker by a bully. And I recognize the bully. It's Max from my class. Don't you hate Max? He's such a jerk. But his victim is... Peter? Bitch, get away from my man! Come on, weirdo. Beg me to stop without stammering. Leave me alone! Peter stammered, which makes his bully laugh out loud. This is bad. Oh boy, this is really bad. Usually I have to admit, I'm not the type to really care about bullying. Like, that's a bad thing to do, sure. And I never bully someone. But am I helping the victims? Well, now that I think about it, I don't think I ever saw someone being bullied in my class. But I know I'm not the type to bother with others. To each their own problems, my mother says. But to be honest, I don't have any major problems in my life, and I'd rather have it that way. So I guess that, in terms of social interactions, I've kind of grown self-centered. Like, I don't really focus on how others behave with each other. But this is different, right? Peter is getting bullied. And even if I'm still hurt by what happened during our childhood, I should help him, right? Of course! We gotta help him. He's a boy. Come on, Amanda. There was only one right thing to do. Getting in between the two boys, I give Max a ferocious look. What are you even doing, Max? Hey, Amanda, how are you? He puts a dumb smile on his face as his cheeks turn red. Oh, does he have a crush on her? I really don't understand why this boy tries so hard to hide his crush on me. It's obvious. Well, at least she has leverage over him now. And from what I can see, he's not my type at all. How am I? Furious. Why are you harassing the new guy? He looks embarrassed, as he should be. After 10 whole seconds of and other interjections, he explains. You should have had the choice to punch him. Or, well, rather slap him. Slap him seems more, acceptable? I mean, if you punch a guy, you will get in trouble, but if you slap them, you have a slightly lesser chance of getting in trouble? But you've also insulted them physically? I know, that's just my take on it. He looks embarrassed, as he should be. After 10 whole seconds of and other interjections, he explains. The way he talks is weird. Frankly, Max, I don't know what to say, but get lost. What? Get lost. You're ridiculous. And don't make me tell the teachers about it. I order with stabbing eyes. Visibly uncomfortable, Max leaves Peter and me. I mean, I'm gonna confession here. I once slapped a guy with a binder. But I did get in trouble because he was the kid in school that everyone hated, including the teachers. And the teacher whose classroom I was in especially hated him, so they looked the other way. That was a good day. I sigh. Phew. I wasn't sure it would work. I'm not really intimidating, but I'm glad I managed to make him stop. Thank you, Amanda. You didn't have to do that. Don't mention it. You couldn't just stand seeing Max behave like a jerk. Just because he hits the gym or whatever doesn't grant him any right to abuse guys weaker than him. Am I weak? Oh, don't be self-conscious. You know what I meant. Peter can't help but chuckle gently. After that, he opens his arms but immediately closes them. He then asks, "Is it okay if I hug you to thank you?" I give him a surprised look. Is it okay if... what? He wants to hug me? As if we were... children. What is he expecting? Does he not realize that a boy hugging a girl means something else now? He knows that we're not 7 anymore, right? The music is beautiful, by the way. I intended to mention that at the beginning. I look at his Peter's face. His eyes sparkled with gratitude and excitement. He has the same eyes as the child, claiming to be a oak. You can't hide your true feelings. You make good decisions. This child, of whom I have bittersweet memories. Eventually opening my arms, I tell him, "Fine, if it can help you realize you don't owe me anything." Yay! With that, he jumps into my arms. Aww. He feels warm, like holding a bowl of soup after a day in school in winter. I butchered that. There is nothing like a warm bowl of soup on a cold day. Well, it's a hot day outside, but it's not his skin which is warm, neither his clothes. This is not this kind of warmth. It doesn't make me sweat. No, it makes my heart beat. You love him. Peter is comforting, and I realize that I haven't felt this kind of warmth, this kind of comfort, ever since he left. I'm trying not to tear up, but I realize that there is a part of my childhood, no, a part of me that is deeply connected to him. As if, without him, I can't totally be myself. And in this instance, which must only be seconds to him, I see all my life. I see its breaking point the day he left. The art is beautiful in this scene. I realize everything I was, how it contrasts with who I am. It's weird, but in his arms I feel whole, complete, actually connected to the memories which I thought had faded away. Yet we quickly let go of each other before going back to the class. Peter, could you actually heal this part of my childhood, which you took with you when the wind blew you away? Nothing much happened after yesterday's discussion between Peter and me. The only thing I have on my mind is that hug. I don't understand why I got so emotional. It's not as if I've never received hugs before. But was it special because it was Peter? It was. Well, deep down, I know the answer is yes. But after how he left me, just forgive him. Just forgive him. Sorry. I didn't notice that this was my mouse here, so I thought something was sticking out of the doorway. Anyway. What if I naively listened to my feelings, grew attached, and he left again, without telling me, just as he did 10 years ago? No, definitely. I just can't give in and trust him. He could betray me once again. And I know it doesn't make sense to say that 7-year-old Peter was responsible for what happened. And who knows, maybe he wanted to reach out but didn't remember my last name or something. I sigh. The truth is, I don't have any clue. But there is one thing I know. I don't want to get closer to him. Not before I know what happened. Even if I'd really like to. I put my hand on the classroom door and take a quick breath. Come on, Amanda. It's not as if the only sight of Peter was enough to fluster you. I open the door and take a look around. Peter is in the back of the classroom, his headphones on his ears, reading a book. Yet he immediately looks at me as I enter. A sparkle appears in his eyes, and his mouth forms into a big smile. Aww. He bounces out of his chair and, holding his backpack, he almost runs to me. The other girls are gonna get jealous. Hey Amanda, how are you? All eyes on her. My classmates' gazes are all upon me. They must be wondering, since when are these two so close? Well, I suppose only Julie and Kiara know we're childhood friends. And Max must see reasons for Peter to be friendly with me. Speaking of the devil, I can see him raise a despising, almost sarcastic eyebrow. The death stare I address him makes him lower it anyway. Good. Hey, Silvercloak. Welcome in. I'm fine, is all I managed to answer to Peter's radiant smile. His smile is so cute. I'm starting to understand Julie now. Peter really is beautiful, especially when he's joyful and enthusiastic like this. To thank you for saving me yesterday from, what was his name again? Hey. You won't dare complain, Max. After what you've done, will you? I love her, he just pops up and pops down. Max mumbles as he crosses his arms and turns away. Right. To thank you for saving me from this Max guy. I brought you some fizzy bears. Like gummy bears? Fizzy bears? You don't remember? We'd eat them all the time. If I don't remember... Of course I remember fizzy bears. It's a rather well-known brand. Think of sour gelatinous bears. Mmm. I love sour candies. It's true that it was a favorite of the two of us when we were children. But to be honest, you know how, as you get older, you start liking things you didn't as a child and start disliking things you'd eat all the time? Here is the unfortunate fate of fizzy bears. I don't like them anymore. I suppose Peter doesn't realize how much I've changed, which surprises me. Shouldn't he know better after all these years? After all, he too must have changed. What does he believe? Does he believe that I've been stuck? That my life hasn't changed? That I would endlessly wait for him? That he would find me exactly as he left me? Fizzy bears aren't my thing. I like, it's Skittles now. Well, although I appreciate the attention, Peter gives me a hangdog look. I would almost be able to accept the candies just to make him smile. Almost. But come on, Amanda, let's be serious. You're not in charge of his happiness. The Werther's original. I actually quite like the Werther's original now. I used to not as a child. I don't like fizzy bears anymore. You what? Shocking. He asked this as if I revealed a horrible secret, like that I kick kittens when I get bored or something. I once kicked one that flew 50 meters. Oh, no, I love kittens. I know, blasphemy. You don't like fizzy bears? I do not kick kittens. Too sour. Oh, I see. That's a bummer. He stutters while looking surprisingly disappointed. But I mean, it's just a candy, and it's been 10 years. What was he expecting? Peter puts the pack of candies back in his bag. Quickly after, another sparkle appears in his eye. I suppose he's got some sort of idea. True. You have good points. Oh, what do you like then? What do I like? Yeah, since your tastes have changed. I would like to know them. What? Why? Well, I guess I want to get to know who you've become. This makes my cheek blush. How can he say that without realizing it would make me blush? Peter, looking at my reddened cheeks, lets out a laugh I would have found adorable if I wasn't embarrassed. Blushing suits you. You look cute. How did he make it worse? I shake my head as if that would chase away the blush. Knocking my right fist against my chest, I try to cool down. Selling the deal with a sigh, I answer. Nothing much. Because honestly, I'm not a big fan of corn dogs, so I'm not gonna lie. Although I don't know about her, but... Nothing much. You can't tell me you just lost your taste buds? No, it's just that... I don't really know. Really? Nothing? Can't he get the clue? Doesn't he realize I'm not ready to play buddies as if I didn't have a single weight on my heart? And that this weight will stay as long as he doesn't tell me why he moved out without letting me know 10 years ago. There really is nothing to say, Peter. Unless you speak now. Unless you bring now the answers I've been expecting all these years. Yet this time, Peter seems to understand, to get the clue, as I said. I hope not. Imagine, the man we love slips through our fingers, all because of a corn dog. Fine. After that, Peter goes back to his seat, putting his noise-canceling headphones in his ears with a saddened expression. But what did he expect? Can't he realize I was hurt? Bad ending, corn dog separated us. Well, some would say being hurt for such a thing is silly. And perhaps they aren't wrong, but I'm entitled to my feelings, aren't I? Peter, if the wind has brought you back, why don't you tell me why it took you away years ago? Tell me why! For copyright reasons, I won't finish the song. You guys can. Good job, yeah, that's it. Oh no! Godzilla is going to attack Berry City! The Berry City in question was a pack of fizzy bears held in front of the monstrous creature awakened by my devilish mind. Or my hand, if you're more of a Cartesian. No! I have to protect the bear folk! Peter starts running around, holding the candies. They're so cute. Of course, being an apex predator, I start running after him, shaking my Godzilla toy, eagerly waiting to devour the candies. I suppose fizzy bears really were tasty at that time. The bedroom was filled with our laughs. My bed, the floor, my shelves, Everything had become its own microorganism. Microcosm? And Peter and I were running through the migrated of worlds. Oop, somebody fell. I want it that way. It didn't even take long for Peter to stumble upon the toys he had left on the ground and to spill all the poor bears on the floor, putting them at my Godzilla's mercy. Many fizzy bears were lost that day. A moment of silence for the fizzy bears. Okay. Once again, Godzilla wins. Rawr. No, no, no. Peter looked surprisingly panicked, as if something terrible happened. Well, he failed to protect the fizzy bears, but it wasn't that serious now, was it? Oh, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble, Amanda. I remember I put a hand on his shoulder. Hey, it's just a game. No, yes, but I made a mess in your room. Your parents are going to get mad and... No, they won't be mad. Peter showed me an even more panicked expression, as if I had been swimming in the sea and had seen the tide coming behind me. Yes, they will, because we made a mess, and that's being naughty, and it's all my fault. I shook my head and put a gentle smile on my face. Somehow, I knew that Peter needed to be reassured. You just stumbled on Miss Lily. It was an accident, it happens. What? He stammered while looking at me, as if I had spoken a really difficult foreign language. French. Sorry. Yes, we all spill things sometimes. My parents told me that as long as we clean it up, it's okay. I would assume so with the E and the mark, whatever it's called. I tried looking it up, trying to understand it. I don't think I'm meant to speak French. Oh. Peter looked at his feet, awkwardly hiding his hands behind his back. And I believe, didn't you say you were gonna, on Twitter, didn't you say you were gonna put a post of how to say your name? I'm still waiting for that. Unless I missed it somehow. Oh, okay. I must have missed it somehow. Well, we should get started. Yes. Thank you, Amanda. When I arrive in class, Peter is already at the back of the class, and as expected, he has noise-canceling headphones on his ears and is reading a book. Oh. Peter, who looked up to see who entered the classroom, notices my surprised expression. Taking off his headphones, he asks me, "Is there anything wrong, Amanda?" Is this Wuthering Heights? Yes, it is. You know it? Who doesn't? It's a classic. I answer as a smile forms on my face, and without even realizing, I'm the one going to Peter's desk this time around. It's a roast, but it's a true roast. It kind of sucks here. Meanwhile, our healthcare bills are like ridiculous. He puts aside some of his belongings to offer me some room to sit on his table. I take a look at the number of pages he's read. It's not much. He's been looking at her most of the time, hasn't he? He's been on that book for like weeks now, hasn't he? Oh, you just started? Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, I started this morning, on my way to school. Oh, you must have good taste then. It's my favorite book. Is it? Really? You look surprised. True, true. Well, so far, I don't like it that much, I fear. Ouch. This simple sentence makes me realize that seeing someone criticize your favorite book is actually worse than listening to someone criticize your music tastes. Really? Why's that? Peter, noticing my disappointed expression, takes his time to think of a clear yet gentle answer to give. I don't like that there are too many names and too many people. Like, how many Catherines are there? And I don't have enough time to get accustomed to them. It's like in my dad's side of the family, everyone's named Deb. We have 4 Debs on my dad's side of the family. It's kind of crazy. Oh, your point is quite valid, actually. I offer Peter a gentle smile before looking at the cover of his book, and intuitively, without even realizing, I put my hand on his, holding the novel. But you know, this book is an easy one, as it expects its reader to get really involved at the very beginning. But if you give it the time it needs, it will... My eyes leave the book cover to look at Peter's curious expression and before my voice gets caught in my throat, I can only manage to complete my explanation with a clumsy "Open up." And at this moment, I'm hit by a realization. The fact that there is more to a book than just its first pages or its cover. That some things need time to be fully understood. Thanks for following, Snakies. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cat loves food. Yeah, yeah. Cat loves food. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cat loves food. Yeah, yeah. Welcome in, Snakies. Are we, Okay, are we good? It felt like it was loading for a minute. Okay. Maybe that's what I should give Peter. I've always felt hurt and been angry at him for having left without telling me, but I never thought that maybe he had his reasons. Reasons he couldn't tell. Reasons he didn't feel like sharing. Reasons I never suspected. As if everything was about me. As if he couldn't hold his own struggles, his own life. Maybe he couldn't tell me his family would move out. But I can't think of a reason. I mean, maybe they went into witness protection? It's possible. It's not as if his parents were But were they? It's not as if his parents were international spies or something. But even though I can't suspect the reasons, it doesn't mean they don't exist. But nature looks so savage, so alive in what I read so far. I like that in comparison, so I hope there's more of it in what happens next. Peter doesn't seem to realize the emotional epiphany I just had. Well, he's never been one to easily understand people's emotions. Not that he doesn't care about others, he just seems to be unable to notice. But what Peter can notice is unusual silence, interrupting himself while talking about how birch can help healing some wounds. He raises a concerned eyebrow. Oh, thank you! That's very nice, thank you. Amanda, is there anything wrong? We'll tell him. We should tell him. Communication is key. Well, there is... Peter closes the book and focuses on me, ready to listen to me. What I'm going to say isn't easy, but it's never easy to open up your heart, right? You must have noticed I've been behaving quite coldly to you? Peter, not leaving my gaze, nods. It hurts to know he noticed. But I mean, what was I expecting? Well, there is a reason. I don't say it's a good reason, but there is one nonetheless. And I suppose you didn't get it. Peter sighs and shakes his head this time around. No, I didn't. I'm sorry, Amanda. I've never been good with understanding implied things. Honestly, me either, so. I like it better when things are said clearly. I know I made you mad, but I don't really know why. I wish I would, so that I can fix things? Peter seems hesitant as he says that. I suppose he's opening up too. Yet, as an answer, I shake my head too. Please don't apologize. It's not your fault you didn't understand. It's my fault I wasn't clear enough. So, my reason. And once again, Peter looks at me with innocent eyes. He's genuinely curious about the reason I have hard feelings for him. This moves me more than it should. Maybe he's just trying his best this whole time? I take a breath. Get a hold of yourself, Amanda. It's not that serious. It's just that, ever since you left when we were children, I've been mad at you. Peter looks genuinely surprised. He really wasn't expecting me to feel that way. Well, I can't blame him for that. I've been mad at you for moving out without telling me. It's silly, because, well, you were a child, and I suppose you just didn't understand that you would go to another school. So don't feel bad about it, because it's not your fault, but I've nonetheless had this resentment. And this resentment has been preventing me from rebonding with you. I'm afraid you will leave again. I'm afraid I'll be alone again. This time Peter puts his hand on mine, and he shakes his head. Amanda, I'm here to stay. My expression changes as I am genuinely shocked by his answer. I was not expecting that. Oh, that's actually really cute. If I didn't tell you, Amanda, it's not because I didn't want to, or because I didn't realize that I would be enrolled in a whole new school. It's just that I wasn't given a choice. I could not tell you I had to move out, even though I wanted to so much. Wait, were they on witness protection or something? I noticed that Peter must have been quite emotional, as he's stuttering more than usual. He used to stutter more when he felt intense emotions when we were children. But why did you move out, Peter? My question makes him wince, which makes him understand he's not ready yet to disclose these reasons. The wind was too strong. It blew his house away and him along with it. I'm sorry. I'm not ready to talk about it. I mean, I want to know, but I also don't want to force him. If he's not ready, he's not ready. Don't make me get Max. put a gentle hand on his quivering shoulder. It's okay, Peter. Even if you never feel ready, it's okay. But I'd like to be, though. And I promise that someday I'm going to tell you everything. You don't have to promise me anything. You don't know me. I know, but I want to. I just need time. I just answer with a gentle smile. And to my surprise, I realize we're holding hands. I suppose we both needed a more solid support than words. And I have to admit that I am a bit unsettled by the fact we held hands without noticing, or without even voicing it. We just did somehow. As if this contact was the most natural thing. Like breathing, smiling, or sweating in the summer. Things that feel so natural, you don't question them. They just feel right. They just feel right. Does holding Peter's hand feel right? Peter, finally noticing, blushes a bit, but he doesn't let go of my hand. He just asks, does that mean we can become friends again? You can be more than friends. You can be more than friends. I support it. I encourage it. And without letting go of his hand, I answer. Looking forward to discovering who you've become. Always gotta keep the goal in mind. When I open the classroom door, I'm barely surprised to see Peter reading the book. Is it me? Or is he arriving more and more early? Well, it makes sense. I suppose he grew accustomed again to the town. So it's no wonder he now finds his way better. And as he usually does, Peter raises his head to see who entered the classroom and puts on a huge smile. He winks to me. Hi, Amanda! Peter enthusiastically shakes his hand as he shoos me. He holds some sheets of paper. I got your homework for you! Hi, Peter. You look excited. I'm thrilled! And might I know why? I've got a great idea to get to know each other. I raise a curious and interested eyebrow. Don't people just get to know each other by hanging out? He must have made friends ever since. Now that I notice, and although he's actually a handsome guy, nobody has approached him so far. Not even Julie, although she supposedly has a crush on him. Is it because of his stammer? I can't throw people away now, can it? People aren't that mean. Has he been alone all these years? I printed the Proust questionnaire. Blinking confusedly, I ask, what is that? A questionnaire with questions we can answer to get to know each other. Like, the first question is, what's your favorite virtue? What? Why does it sound like philosophy? Mine is honesty. Do you find it philosophical? Yes, virtue and stuff. I need some inspiration. What is yours? Patience. That's a good one too. Peter immediately answers, without an ounce of doubt or hesitation, which impresses me. I mean, trying to find an appropriate answer would take me way more time, and even so, I would declare it so confidently. Patience? Why? Well, sometimes I need time to understand or do some things. Like even talk. So I like it when people allow me to take my time. That's me too. Oh. I'm surprised by how down to earth his answer is. I suppose that's logical. He must appreciate it when people don't grow tired of his stuttering, or let him take his time to speak. See? Easy as pie. No need to get philosophical. What is something nice you like about others? Something nice I like about others? A virtue I like about them. Sincerity. It's also a good one. Oh, that's important too. Maybe it's just that, well, being comfortable enough with someone to set your own boundaries and to tell about the weight of your hearts. That's what I like about others. Peter lets out the cutest laugh I've ever heard. Jeez, it makes my heart skip a beat. Honestly, I didn't realize there was 7 either. A main 7. You got more philosophical than me. But you're right. People never dare say what they have on their mind. Well, they do when they're mean and want to say mean things. I think everybody would be easier if we just told each other what we felt. Like, hey, I want to hang out with you, instead of, oh, it'd be nice if we could have a friend's company, or things like that. You're at a bit of a loss with implicit and social relations, aren't you? Yeah, I'm trying, but I really have a hard time figuring it out. But let's continue. Do you have a favorite color, Amanda? I blink and I'm surprised. He really is focused on this questionnaire, isn't he? Not really, I think. I believe what beautiful in color is the way they harmonize with each other. Do you know that was Proust's answer? Oh, is it? Yeah. I guess you're more philosophical than you think after all. Stop making fun of me. I say, putting a gentle tap on Peter's shoulder. And you, what's your favorite color? Ginger. I know, okay. My favorite color is purple. I love purple. And although he said that so confidently as his previous answer, this time around, Peter ends up blushing. He taps his own chest as he coughs. Orange, I meant orange. It reminds me of the leaves falling from trees in autumn. Like your necklace? Yeah, it's a cool necklace. I wouldn't have pegged you for a fashion victim. Peter answers with an amused smile before looking at his necklace. He is then struck by some sort of illumination. Hey, is this forest we went to once with our school still around here? Wow, old memory unlocked. I haven't gone there in years, but I guess so? Would you like to go there with me this weekend? You want to go there? He loquaciously answers, even accompanying his interjection with a nod of his head. I would love to go with you. Offering him a gentle smile, I answer, I would love to go with you, Peter. Peter blushes, and yet puts a radiant smile on his face. Oh, I'm so excited then. We still chat a bit about Proust's questionnaire after that, but before he goes back to his desks, that's when the teacher arrives. Philosophy class starts, and surprisingly, it does seem easier, now that Peter has noticed that I am a philosophical person. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Amanda. Did you know that acorns were used to make flour before? Really? Yeah, but it was mostly used to feed pigs. I didn't know pigs ate flour. Me neither. I read it in my encyclopedia. This is so cool. Peter printed a proud smile on his face. And did you know some oaks don't lose their leaves during winter? But not all of them. The Quercus rhizomphalia doesn't lose its leaves. It's in Mexico. Oh, in Mexico? Yeah, too bad we can't see it. He crossed his arms behind his head and looked up at the oaks above. Oh. Sorry, that was funny. He just collapsed. Ironically tumbling on an acorn, Peter fell on the floor, hurting his left arm in the process. Oh, thank you. I'm working on my voices. Ouch. Peter, are you alright? The teacher immediately asked, running to Peter. No, he hurt his arm. Oh, let me see that. No! Peter grabbed the sleeve, covering his right arm to prevent his teacher from rolling it up. Come on, Peter, it's alright. I just need to check. She puts a reassuring hand on Peter's, who finally freed his sleeve from his grasp. Our teacher unrolled it, only to discover... Is the reason they moved because, one of the parents was abusing him? He was being abused? If they're saying bruises, you're not gonna get bruises from an acorn. Oh my, Peter. How did you get all these bruises? Peter, looking timidly to the side, answered, stuttering more than usual. Right now, I just fell, so I got this. She looked at him unconvinced, and putting on a benevolent smile, she whispered, We'll have a talk in the infirmary when we get back to school. Right, Peter? And Peter shamefully nodded. It is what I think it is. That's very sad. I take a look at the trees around Peter and me. They're so green? But it's true that being surrounded by those trees, tall and proud, that I've stood here for years, it's overwhelming, intimidating even. If it wasn't for the wind wafting through the leaves and branches, they would be as still as statues. It's amusing to think that they are actually alive, filled with whatever sap they take from the ground. Oh, I remember these oak trees. Not that they would have disappeared. They can live up to 1,000 years after all. 1,000 years? I comment, unable to hide my surprise at his trivia. They really are insignificant in comparison. Yes, I mean, how many people have seen these trees? Or have these trees seen? How many children explored these woods under their gaze? How many serial killers? Okay, that's a random interjection. Do trees make you think of serial killers? Are you okay, Amanda? Well, a lot of bodies are hidden in the woods. More than murders, actually. How many crime scene investigation shows has she been watching? Amanda is actually a secret psychopath. On her weekends, she goes out and slaughters people and hides them in the woods. That's lore. I didn't know you were a true crime fan. With a corn dog? Feel my corn doggish wrath. Corn dog has separate nose. Are you one of those who send love letters to serial killers? Gosh, no! Enjoying true crime is more than psychology. I kept wanting to say philosophical. Philosophy, but not psychology. You get what I'm saying. It's psychology, not philosophy. Psychology. True crime is more about psychology than it is about murders. Even if they have sharp jawlines? Goodness, what have you seen on the internet? Terrible TikTok edits of Cameron Hearn? He's a murderer, not a serial killer. The same difference? How can you know so many details about trees and call all murderers serial killers? Well... I suppose I am less thorough about the details when I don't really care about the topic. Not that it's bad to enjoy true crime. I'm not that interested. Putting a hand on Peter's shoulder, I gently whisper, "Then you need to die." I mean, we did say she was the secret serial killer, so... I know, don't worry. Peter sighs before realizing I'm too close to him. Then he takes a horrified step back, trying to hide his backpack from sight. He insisted on me not looking at it, as if I didn't have the shape of a picnic basket he was certainly hiding inside. But being the nice person I am, of course, I pretend not to notice. Peter takes a look at his phone. Although it's almost noon. He says without realizing the although betrays the surprise he's planned. I still don't comment. Peter turns to me and putting his hands on his hips, he says, "Amanda, I hope you're hungry." Yes? I didn't know what you liked, so I brought sandwiches. I hope it was the right pick. I made sure not to take anything too weird or peculiar, and don't worry, Peter, it's fine, I'm sure. So you like spaghetti sandwiches? I answer with a gentle smile. After that, I'm surprised to see Peter take a picnic rug out of his backpack. He did think this thoroughly through. We chat and eat the sandwiches, and fortunately, they taste normal. They're not poisoned, thank God. I'm on that true crime roll. But as we spend time on this picnic rug, I realize that I feel good by his side. I feel good with him. When he's here, the breeze isn't cold. It's warm and agreeable. The sun isn't blinding, and even the trees seem to have a lovely smell. Which is a strange thing to focus on, since Peter doesn't really have a distinctive smell. He smells clean, but he certainly isn't the type to wear perfume. A thought makes me laugh. After some time, Peter lies on the floor, crossing his arms behind his head, and I join him. We're covered by the sky and surrounded by trees. Somehow, in our piece of land, in our private garden. And at this moment, I realize why Peter enjoys trees and staying in nature. He wouldn't phrase it that way, though. But it makes you feel at peace. The pose he's in, the pose. You're welcome? Peter confusedly responds, trying to understand what I mean. Thank you for having brought me here. It's peaceful, quiet, it's calm. I like it here. My friend offers me his biggest smile. I'm glad you think so. Maybe we can come back next week then? I know I would. I spent a good moment with you, Amanda. I'd love to. Peter, I'd love to. I answer without letting my eyes leave him. After that, we carry on talking a bit, albeit sporadically, as Peter and I look at the peaceful sky above us. I suppose it is endless too, just like the lifespan of an oak, just like its size, until a forest fire burns it down. And who knows? Perhaps just like the friendship forming between us. A few minutes later, We decide to leave the forest before it gets too late. And somehow, I'm looking forward to seeing him on Monday in class, of course. But I'm also looking forward to next Saturday. Oh, I didn't know lilies of the valley could be toxic. I comment as I'm sitting at the chair next to Peter's, looking at the encyclopedia he brought to school today. They say not to trust a book by its cover. Yes, but I think it's less about being beautiful than it is about being everywhere. I mean, florists sell those, you know. I guess you're right. But that would make a great plot point for a mystery novel. How so? I don't know. The murderer could poison someone with a cup of tea made from lilies of the valley? Oh! And to bring confusion on the presence of the lilies of the valley, they could have noticed their victim had the same face at home. Why are you so good at this? It's a coincidence, I swear. I swear, I never committed that exact crime. Peter asks with an amused smile. Putting a similar smile on my face, I teasingly answer, "Who knows? Maybe I have a plan." Well, if you have a plan, you have an accomplice. He winks at me as he makes this bold suggestion. You show me around the woods. The best place to bury the bodies. I know I can count on you. I suppose you'll show me the best places in the woods to bury a body on Saturday? Exactly. They're planning to bury Max. Max is their first victim. At least that would feed the trees. I mean, that is true, but... I realize Max is frightened gaze on us as we carry on joking about hiding a body. You should leave, Max, and not bother them. Your life is in danger. Turning to him, I say, "Be careful who you want to bully." Max's cheeks turn red as he turns away. Well, I know he has a crush on me. But it seems like I'm not into bullies. After that, Peter and I continue studying and reading his encyclopedia. And as I am next to him reading this book, I realize that, once again, I feel good. More than good. Comfortable, at peace, where I belong. Do I belong next to Peter? Yes. Just reading about trees, talking about our interests. When we do that, there is something beating in me, in my chest. As if my heart was animated by 1,000 winds. When my shoulder brushes his, I feel good, close to him. And somehow, I want to feel close to him, to be close to him. Amanda, are you alright? I look at him as I'm lost in my thoughts. Yes. I started to spite myself. Peter answers with a cheerful smile before looking at his book once again. A cheerful smile that suits him. And I'm surprised I hadn't noticed earlier. But Peter is the type to smile a lot. I suppose he must be happy. Happy to fully be himself? It's true that Peter is peculiar. He always wears his noise-canceling headphones, fails to socialize with others, has his very own specific interests. And yet, he embraces himself fully. And he must be right. He cannot just try to be himself. And then I remember who I was as a child and what I'd become. The way we would carefreely play with Peter, the way it all changed when he left. I don't want to be alone, so I tried to blend in, to erase everything specific about myself. And I tried so hard to forget who I was, or at least what kind of relationship I wanted with people. I want to talk about more than how boring philosophy class is. I want to peacefully look at the trees with a friend by my side. I want to be able to look around me and find memories, evocations. I want the world around me to be filled with these winds that make my heart beat. And when I look at Peter, I want to be as carefree as him. Not to bother with others, with what they think, or what they would say. I just want to unapologetically be myself. To embrace what I feel without second guessing it. But then, I remember Peter left, and I still don't know the reason. I know it's unimportant, that it's no big deal, that I'm just being nosy. But although I want to, I don't manage to totally give in. As long as this parasite thought that Peter might leave and that I won't have a clue why, I can't just abandon myself to my own feelings or wants. I can't decipher them. Because they are all centered around Peter. And I'm afraid to see everything explode. Of course, it's not like when we were kids. I have his phone number now, but calls are easy to ignore. A voice takes me out of my thoughts. Amanda, can I get my seat or should I take yours? Blinking before realizing he's the one occupying the seat next to Peter's, I stand up. No, sorry, I was spacing out. See you, Peter. I say with a smile, to which Peter answers with a nod of the head, before putting back his headphones on. Peter and I finally reach those woods. Once again, we take a look around. This simple sight makes Peter let out a long sigh of peace. To be honest, I envy him. I wish I could be this peaceful, to just look at trees and forget all my worries. But these feelings I have, obscure and conflicted, but around Peter, I like being around him. I like talking with him. I like staying by his side. But there is always a weight on my heart, so heavy and so big that it casts a shadow on my feelings. If it were to leave, I would feel light. Well, lighter at least. Oh, Peter. I shiver as I simply think of his name. Peter, Peter, Peter. Oh, Peter. Amanda? You're calling my name. Are you okay? Oh. Peter takes me out of my reverie, and I look at him with confused eyes. His expression is peculiar. He looks like he's hiding something, which is quite rare for him. Peter is the type to speak his mind. He's even able to roast someone without even realizing it. So, what could he be hiding from me? But quickly enough, his expression dissipates and shows a playful smile. Don't you think this forest is a perfect place to play hide and seek? Well, it's a good place to hide a corpse. It must be a good place to hide and seek. Back to the corpses, aren't we? Wow, quite the enchanting thoughts. Peter comments with an amused smile. But fine. Let's hide the corpse. 1, 2, 3. It took me a while to realize that I am the corpse in question. When I eventually do, however, I try my best to find a tree to hide behind. What a perfect way to get lost in the woods, to starve to death and to rot. In the end, I just pick a random tree and I hide behind it. I'm not sure this is the perfect spot, but since I can't see Peter, I suppose it's pretty good. Yes, the optimism. Love the bright unicorns and rainbows in her thoughts. Not sure it's a perfect spot, but since I can't see Peter, I suppose it's still pretty good. Yet, I somehow hope he still finds me. Waiting alone for too long can be quite boring. That's not the kind of thoughts I had during childhood. Well, I suppose learning to get bored during hide and seek is part of growing up. I take a look at the leaves of the trees above me to kill time. I suppose I could have had some sort of poetic thought if I were in autumn and if it had been falling. But seeing them so alive, so green, it feels comforting. It's nature growing back. After the cold of winter and the tribulations of spring, it finds a way to heal back, to grow fruit again. But does winter leave on its own? Or does spring chase it away? How can I bring the winds of spring to my heart? I suppose I somehow managed to find a way to make it I feel someone grabbing me from behind, gently hugging my waist. I let out a quick scream. As I turn, I see Peter's laughing face. It's like, gotcha! Found ya! I bet. I look at him, and without controlling it, I smile back. Peter is comforting. Peter is so joyous. Peter is fine to be around. I can talk about my weird obsession for true crime. I can just lie down in the grass, looking at the winds and trees, at the clouds slowly moving in the sky without feeling alone. When he looks at me like that, with glee and joy, my heart skips a beat and struggles to catch its usual tempo. It beats at the rhythm of the nature around us, of the trees, of the flowers, of the fruits, of the sun even. And it's filled with wind, not the cold wind that contracts and intense. It's different. It's the winds of love. Amanda, are you alright? Peter. I answer with a muffled voice. I take a sigh. What's wrong? Come on, Amanda. Just explain everything. That your feelings are confusing. That there is a weight on your heart, preventing you from understanding your own emotions. I look at Peter. His gaze is comforting, encouraging even. All these years, I had a lot of classmates, some so-called friends, but nobody has ever looked at me like that. Peter, when I see you, when I spend time with you, I feel things. I don't exactly know what these things are. But I feel good around you, comfortable. Fine. I feel like I belong. Surprisingly enough, the more I talk, the clearer my feelings get. And I know that if I let my guard down, if I just dare to completely give in to this warmth you're bringing to my life, if I let the wind carry me away, if I feel everything more intensely, and it would be good. I could just embrace everything and feel at peace, but I'm afraid, Peter. What if I let everything rest upon you? What if the wind blows you away once again? What if you were not to stay and left after I felt the intensity of my feelings? I could not go back to what I am now, to what I pretend to be. Peter, I forgot who I was, how I wanted to live my life, but you reminded me of everything. Spider-Man meme. You woke up a part of me that I had forgotten. This girl who would call her best friend Mr. Big Tree because she was impressed by him. Because she was in love with him. Yay! I don't realize that I said it out loud, that I told Peter I loved him when we were children. But now, what about now? What am I feeling? Peter looks aside, but quickly he turns back to me and smiles. Amanda, I did have a happy childhood. But the truth is, you're the only one who made this childhood happy. I was constantly picked on because of my stammer. I never understood why people found it funny. It's not my fault. And you were my only friend. Not that I would complain. I didn't care about having friends. But I was bothered by the bullying. And at home. Peter looked emotional. It's a strange expression on his face. He usually looks so peaceful, but now he's shaken. If it's too hard, you don't have to... No, I want to tell you. I want you to feel at peace. I want you to know I never gave up on you. At home, my parents were quite abusive, and they couldn't stand that I wasn't a normal child. Like, my weird hyperfixations, my inability to understand the codes of socialization, even my stammer, to be honest. They were all excuses to criticize me, to treat me like trash, to hit me even. Look at this scar on my arm. I noticed Peter had a scar on his arm, but I never asked. We all have some sorts of scars on our bodies. But now that I know where the one on his arm came from... Peter, I'm sorry. Don't be. It's not your fault. But yeah, my father, I'd rather call him my progenitor, did that. So when our teacher noticed, she called a social worker who didn't take too long to realize what was going on. So Chloe, it was her name, helped me find a new home. And my adopted parents are great people. These are my real parents. The ones who loved me with my struggles and my interests. The ones who taught me I was allowed to grow as I am, instead of trying to fit a closed-minded box. Even right now, we're talking about getting diagnosed with autism. We're not sure that's what I have, but they're looking for the tools. Because they actually want to care about me. I take a look at Peter. His emotions are so pure. He really loves his adoptive parents. I'm glad he found them. Or rather, I'm glad they found him. Who knows what would have happened if he had remained in his abusive household. So yeah, they're amazing. I hope you guys can meet one day, because you are all fantastic. The only problem is, they live a bit far. Which isn't a problem in itself, but... Peter takes his breath before continuing, trying to tame his overwhelming emotions. Somehow, we're more similar than I thought. I wanted to find my best friend. I really missed you all these years, Amanda. They were happier. But I couldn't be truly happy, truly at peace. Because I'm just like you, Amanda. I need you to feel at peace, to feel like I belong. Believe it or not, I didn't manage to make a single friend all these years. So my parents suggested to help me find an apartment nearby. They told me they would pay for it. I didn't want them to spend more money on me, but I couldn't refuse either. I needed you, Amanda. So I took some time, but we found. And although it was already so late in the school year, I couldn't step back. I needed to find you. I needed to find this girl from my childhood, who was my best friend. And my first love. I wanted to see who she's become. I wanted to see if she was as marvelous as I remembered. And I found out she's even better than how my fading memories pictured her. When Peter says that, I blush. Is this a confession? I was afraid at first, because you were quite unwelcoming, but somehow I could feel deep down that you were still you. That maybe I just needed to, I don't know, give you time to let me enter your life? As Peter starts expanding on his feelings, the wind starts to blow harder, wafting through our clothes and our hair. Is it here to take Peter away? Is it howling because it has finally brought him where he's meant to be? Yes. I was afraid you'd become like everyone else, despising me because I'm not socially capable, or because I stutter when I speak. But when you told me it was because you spent years wondering why I left, I was relieved. Relieved you just didn't get insensitive. Relieved that you thought about me as much as I thought about you. And I'm sorry you thought of me because of such bitter feelings. But I've always wanted to go back to you. I've been longing for you, Amanda. And I hope you know I didn't leave because I didn't care. Actually, I've always cared, Amanda. I never cared about anything but you. When I came here and saw that you still had that flame, that's something that makes you you, that it only grew bigger, although you repressed it. Oh, Amanda, it reminded me of how much I love you. Your humor, your passion for your interests, your laugh, your murmurs, your hands, your eyes, your touch, your freckles, the way your mind wanders, and a lot of other things that would bother me if it were on others. They all feel so beautiful on you. So soft, so right. You're the only one I can hug. The only one whose arms make me feel safe. The only one whose arms are warm. If only I was better at this. If only I had the words to express how mushy yet passionate I feel inside. If only I could tell you all you inspire me. Peter, realizing he's certainly losing track of what he wants to say, stops and takes a breath. When I had to move out, you know what my biggest regret? Peter looked at his feet with a sad smile, certainly reminiscing about the past. Was that I never got a chance to tell you about how I really feel. But now I can say it, so hear me out. He stops looking at his feet, and he looks deeply in my eyes, with a tender smile on his face. I love you, Amanda. A million winds flew through my heart, my veins, and my whole body feels transported, flying almost. I feel light, but more than light, I feel alive. Alive. I feel alive. I'm alive. So, this was it? All these tormented feelings about Peter that I was afraid to let out? They feel so good. And this whole time I was... love? I rush into Peter's arms, not holding back the tears of joy I want to shed. Oh, Peter, I love you. I love you. Now that I said it, I feel that complete peace, light as a feather. I feel strong, beautiful, quirky, endearing, charming, proud, kind, empathetic, entrancing. I feel like me. And it feels good. It feels so good to feel free from questions, from torments, from doubts, and just to let everything go. To let the wind blow all my pain away. This is what my heart was concealing. What it didn't want to share with you. I was afraid of you leaving me like what happened. But now that I know, you never left me. Now that I know, I never left you either. That you went all the way back just for me. I know you'll never disappear. Even if the winds take you away. You'll find another zephyr to bring you back to me. I'm not afraid anymore, Peter. I'm not afraid of loving you. Peter looks at me with a fond and moved expression. It must feel as good to hear as it is to say. So, what are we doing now? I grab Peter's hand, and without even thinking, I bring him to a pond nearby. And I push him in. It's not really deep, but it's deep enough for us to get wet and carefully splash each other. Just Peter and me, in the greatness of nature, not thinking about anything else than having fun together. You can splash me, but an oak will never bend. Well, then I think Mr. Big Tree should read Aesop's The Oak and the Reed. He'd be surprised. I jokingly answer while splashing him again. He covers his face to avoid getting water in his eyes, but he answers with a laugh, and plot twist by splashing me. I guess we're playing like children, but it feels good to finally be able to do so. I forgot the weight of the years that passed. I forgot my doubts, my desolation, my solitude. I now have someone I can be around without second-guessing anything. And Peter will never find me weird. Peter will never find me cheesy. Peter will never find me too contemplative. And I will never find him ridiculous. I will never find him boring. I love him for everything he is. We play a bit before we decide to take a break and try our clothes. Peter makes a campfire. I didn't know he could do that, but he learned so while studying wood. His passion is for trees, after all. Hey, Amanda, come here. I obey as Peter gently hugs me, and then timidly asks, "Will you be my girlfriend?" I look at him fondly, and to be honest, even a bit amused. Isn't the answer obvious at this point? Of course I will. Aww. As I stare at him more deeply, I see in his eyes an identical wish to the one lying in my heart, and without pronouncing another word, we share a kiss. And surprisingly enough, I feel even lighter, as if I was on the moon. This moment is tender. This moment of intimacy, of pure sweetness, I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world. This moment, simple as it is the answer to all my previous doubts, all my questions. That's why the wind blew him away. That's why I brought him back. We needed to grow. We needed to long for each other. We needed to be ready to love each other, to embrace this moment. To never let it get extinguished, like the fire behind us. To feel that love that makes us feel alive. Love. It's what makes us feel alive. And if everything that happened to help us reach this conclusion, then I don't regret anything. I'm just happy to be with him, by his side, in his arms. Peter, as if he didn't dare to talk over the crackling fire, whispers between my lips, "I love you." And without leaving I answer back, "I love you too, Peter." Aww. That was so cute. Yay! The corn dog didn't tempt us. There was no other ending. And they lived happily ever after, slaughtering and hiding bodies in the woods for the rest of their days. The end. We had to come back to that. Bonnie and Clyde, but with corn dogs. This was a great game. You did a good job. You and everyone working on it. And that was When the Wind Blew You Away by Chim. Because I'm not going to pronounce the entire mince of your name. Because I can't. Oh, I'm glad I played it. It was adorable. I'm glad you had fun. Thank you all for coming to join the stream. So, yes. I'm sure all of you have already played the game, but if any of you haven't somehow, go ahead and play When the Wind Blew You Away. You won't regret it. Alright. I'll be doing a whole bunch of indie games. I like doing these, so I'm making it part of my regular streaming schedule. Hey Bach! Hey Choco! You just missed the end of it. I'm sorry, Choco. But I have the VOD up, so you can watch that. It's a really good game. I mean, if you want, I can read again. I can read I'll read a little bit. Encore. We'll skip through Kwai-chan, if that's okay. So we can get to the story. And then I'll leave you halfway done. I'll let you choose since you're here. Do you want shoujo style? Actually, let's do shoujo style since we did painterly style before. So this will give us an excuse to check this out. Oh, look at them. I think they're so cute. I'm the biggest tree in the forest, and no wind, no gust will blend my glorious trunks. Peter said with his usual stuttering, proudly putting his hands on his hips and standing straight and proud as a sequoia. A sequoia! That's what it is. Okay, yes, okay. Sorry. I stand where I stand and I'll never leave. He disclaimed, trying to intimidate a rusty old man's voice. This managed to make me laugh. But what if the wind is stronger than you, Mr. Big Tree? Stronger than me? The big old tree? No way! I've been here for centuries. I've seen more winds than you'll ever see in your life. And look, still standing here at the top of the world. The wind can blow, but it can't take me away, he solemnly announced, showing a mouthful of teeth. But he lied. Peter did leave. He was blown away. You blow your house down. And I mean, that's life, isn't it? Parents moving in and out. He was a child. He didn't leave me on purpose. But I've always wondered, why didn't he tell me he was moving out? Surely enough, his parents must have told him they were leaving town. We could have exchanged our parents' phone numbers. We would have stayed in touch. We would have remained friends. But he left, without bothering to notify me. And sure, he underestimated how much it could have hurt me. We were children, after all. And everyone says that childhood friendships are bound to fade away. But somehow, I believe Peter and I could have been different. That we would last. That we were friends, soulmates, or something. But in the end, we were nothing. Just children playing pretend. Pretend to be a tree. Pretend to always stay. Pretend to be friends. When Peter left, I struggled making friends. I was always stuck with him, and him with me. And we were in our own little world, in our own little bubble that nobody could burst. As years passed by, I managed to make some new friends. But somehow never anything as deep as what Peter and I had. And I know it's silly to call a friendship that stopped in childhood deep. Childhood friendships are deep because they start in childhood, but develop throughout the years. Peter and I didn't develop anything with the years that have separated us. The wind won. A Grammy nomination! They're gonna get together. Yeah, you know. Yeah, homework was really hard. Like, why are we doing math and philosophy? Right? I mean, we didn't drop math for nothing. Preach, girl. I comment with a laugh, while I talk with a few classmates of mine who had an essay that made me stay up all night. Thought it was a university thing. Do it again, but put a little spin on it. To be honest, I'm not sure I dislike philosophy all that much, but I don't really know. It feels easier to criticize it with others. Nobody likes philosophy after all. And I suppose I'm just a nobody, lost in a sea of other nobodies. Yes, a plot twist this early. I'm nothing special, really. A standard girl having a few acquaintances, not having strong interests. Not since he left. But never mind. That's a good thing. The more you blend in, the more integrated you are in society. This boy was too special anyway. And even if staying with him was fun, I don't know, maybe it's better for me to just be a person among others after all. But I guess my internal struggle isn't that big of a deal. Especially considering that there is a bigger deal happening today. I think a new guy joins the class? I haven't noticed him, and to be honest, I don't really give a damn. I mean, we're already in April, and the school year ends in June. Like, is he stupid or something? Why is he coming now at this season? I don't even understand why his parents couldn't wait until the end of the school year. I mean, for their son to go to uni, to move in? I guess I'll never know. Not that it's any of my business, for all I care. Yes. To be bluntly honest, I don't even know if the guy's arrived. After all, I was talking with my friends, and we're not into some sort of drama where everyone would notice him at first glance. Immediately notices him. After a while, our philosophy teacher enters the classroom and starts calling roll. Pretty quickly, he mentions a name that has never been pronounced in this classroom before. Chimeriquement. That's the name. Peter Brine? Peter Griffin? But I know all too well. And as cliche as it is to say, my heart skipped a beat. Peter Parker! Peter Brine? The Peter Brine? The one I was friends with when I was a child? There could be a lot of Peters. Even Peter Brines. I mean, this is a pretty common name. Just as common as, Jack Smith. Well, when the boy answers, there is no doubt. But present. He does have a stutter. Like my Peter did. My Peter. And only my Peter. And if any other girl touches him, she's dead. And without waiting a second more, I turn to him so that my eyes confirm what my ears and my heart already know. We're going yandere route. He looks like him. Of course, you can never tell with the years, but it looks like him. His dark hair stands neglectfully over his sides of his head. His green eyes are just as soft as I remember. And surprisingly enough, I can't help but find him handsome. Yeah, that's the word. Handsome. He looks out the window, certainly lost in his own world, as he used to be, locking himself away from people who are not deserving of his presence because he is a god and lord. He must be looking at the tree next to the window. He always did love trees. I remember the time he hugged a tree yet. I remember when we would eat corn dogs under the tree. And I wonder... He speaks for the trees, he does. He is the Lorax. Is he more discreet? Nostalgic because he doesn't have as much time as before to climb them? You mess with the trees, he'll break your knees and we'll dig the trees, buy the trees, and bury the body. There's the scenario. There's the scenario for the crimes. Maybe they're his only friends. The only ones who even dared to talk to him. Because he knew, if anyone else talked to him, I'd make sure they never talked again. I remember he was sometimes picked on at school because of his stammering. People can be so dumb. I remember when Prito told me he loved me, but not as much as the trees. Maybe he doesn't even care about trees anymore. Maybe they're just an old memory, blown away by the wind. Just like what I must have been to him now. It doesn't take long for him to notice he's being looked at, and he lays his eyes on me. If seeing his profile already hurt me, I have to admit seeing his front face is like beyond compare. This is Peter. Though he's grown and changed, I still recognize the memory I had of him and his traits. He makes his own corn dogs. He immediately blushes. He has recognized me. He knows who I am, what I do, what I would do. He knows I'm his Amanda. The one he left behind. The one he never thought he would have to see again. The one who was but a fleeting memory. Because he would have forgotten if fate had brought him to this classroom. This is turning into a totally different story. But why? Why now? Why after 10 years? Why did you hide from me? All these years! You're different. We've grown apart. We're strangers. There's no point. The answer to my question should have come right earlier. Since it'd be ridiculous to look at each other, I end up turning back to my teacher and leaving Peter's green eyes. So, read Cam's text for next time. Our teacher says under the ringing of the bell, taking a mental note to try not to forget to read Cam's text and to try not to put my teacher 5 feet under. I put on my stuff in my bag and get ready to leave as everyone else. Yes, and of course, someone approaches me, preventing me from running away from this philosophy nightmare. And who else but... hi, Amanda Evans. I take a look at him. He really does look like my Peter. The childhood memory that I had has never faded. Being caught off guard, I can't even properly organize my thoughts to treat his question. Why is this so intense? Shouldn't I have gotten over him? Over his mysterious disappearance 10 years ago? I tried so hard to hold back. Why must you come back now? Finally, my thoughts are less foggy and I can focus. Taking a short breath, I answer, although quite emotive. Yes. I answer in a cold voice. The coldness surprises even me. Cold as the tundras. Cold as the Arctic weather. Cold as the freezing ice in my heart. And it doesn't seem to unsettle my interlocutor. It's Peter Brine from primary school. Do you remember me? I hope you don't. Hearing him talk, I take a step back. That stammer. Now I know it's him. It's gotta be him. I know it's him. It definitely is. He has that ravishing smile on his face. He looks so pretty. So pretty, I just want to lock him away. Okay, good. But as soon as I think that, my heart hurts. My heart hurts. And I'm back to the day when I was expecting Peter to come. I remember waiting and waiting and waiting for 7 years, every single day. I waited for him. Through rain, through the snow, through the sleet, through the hail, I kept on waiting. But he never came back. He never came back. She would. She'll spend all her years trying to pay for the ambulance. And as nonsensical as it might be, I still feel bitter. He was a child. He had to move out. He didn't decide to, and he didn't realize the full scope of moving out and the consequences it would have. It's not his fault. That's it. That's the whole story. Nothing else to uncover. And to be honest, nothing I should be angry about. But even if I know it's not reasonable, my feelings... Trying to set everything aside, I simply answer. Yeah? What do you want? Oh. Peter lowers his gaze, finally noticing the coldness in my voice. It's nice to see you again. See you around. He eventually stutters before leaving me alone. Once again. Alone. With my thoughts. In my feelings. I was too rude, wasn't I? It was just childhood. Nothing worth being angry about, but I don't know. I still feel the winds of solitude in my heart, trying to chase him away. For his own safety. So have you seen the new guy? Like, are you talking about Peter? Totally. I see you remember his name. Kira jokingly says, elbowing me with a devilish smile, to which I answer by shaking my head. No, I just went to school with him when we were kids. I don't have an obsession with him, I swear. Really? Wow, must be weird. You're kidding. It's so cool. I'm sure you have a lot of extra info about him. I'm sure you could give some to your favorite friend. Hey, I'm her favorite friend. No, I'm her favorite friend. No, I'm her favorite friend. Neither of you are my friends, bitch. Oh, come on. Help a girl out with a crush. A crush? Yeah, the guy's beautiful. Pure beauty. Over the top as always, Julie. It's your third crush this week. But this time it's different. Like, have you seen him? He is so handsome. He's cute, but not, oh my god, he's so cute. He is. He's not. He is. He's not. He is! No, he's not. I'm getting bored, to be honest, but once again, I won't be rude. So I'll zip my mouth and hope this discussion stops very soon. Amanda, what do you think? Isn't he the cutest? Come on, girl, say he is. You know he is. If he's cute? Yeah, he is. He's even more than that. He's really beautiful. But I don't want to answer that. I don't want to give them more reason to like him. What is my best way around it? I'm gonna go for a bad end this time. He's actually a vampire. He's not my type. Julie puts her hand on her heart and dramatically disclaims with her tremulous lips. You're breaking my heart, Amanda. And then she puts her fingers on my chest. Girl, a little... Can you not? It's uncomfortable. But answer me this. You need to tell me everything about him. I don't know what to say. I mean, he was just a schoolmate. We didn't stay in touch or anything. So I don't think I can help you. Too bad. You just gotta go talk to the boy. Kara slaps Julie's back and lets out a hearty laugh. You'll have more luck another time. Jeez. Is this a Twilight fanfiction game? 50 Shades of Grey with wind trees, corn dogs, and yonder. At this moment, Peter enters the class. He has noise-canceling headphones on his ears and is reading a book. He's wearing black nail polish and has guyliner under his eyes. Just my type. He curiously looks at the classroom and doesn't fail to quickly notice Julie, Kiara, and me. Or I hope just me, because if he's staring at Julie and Kiara, he's gonna get it. puts a gentle smile on his face and waves his hand. I wave back, because he knows who he belongs to. I naturally wave at him, but Julie stands in the way, shaking her hands with passion. Oh, Julie, you don't even know what you've done. You won't be seen tomorrow. Peter softly laughs, but his gaze is still on me. Then he immediately goes to his seat and starts reading a book. It's true he was quite the bookworm when we were children. I suppose that hasn't changed, at least. But I don't have time to lose myself in thoughts about how much Peter has changed, or not. Since Julie's antics dragged me to another conversation with her and Kiara. Seriously, Julie, you just keep dragging yourself deeper and deeper. 1 week later, Julie's body has gone missing. A young lady named Julie has been missing since Wednesday. Please call if you have any information about this young lady. Thank you. All right. Good night, Tough Mellow. Thank you for coming. I'm going to continue on with a yandere version of the When the Wind Blew You Away. Oh, really? Okay, let's do it. We'll try the bad ending. And then I'll make Choco play the normal route of the game herself. Yay, death! Gosh, I'm not the type to complain about school canteen. But today's lunch was horrible, and that's an understatement. No wonder they called it deviled kidney. It really comes from hell. I'm sure I could make something much worse. They didn't even bother to put poison in it. The original meal isn't that tasty in itself. But now a low-cost version of it? Oh god. My stomach is still hurting. I'm heading back to class, wondering how boring literature class is going to be. Yet approaching the classroom, I hear some noises. Someone is hurting a locker? I mean, I know school can be tough, but like, seriously, don't punch a locker. What did it ever do to you? Walking by, I noticed that what I should have obviously suspected. Of course it's not someone who's randomly knocking out a poor and innocent locker. It's someone who's being knocked into a locker. Of course, silly. I recognize the bully. It's Max from my class. And the poor innocent being that is being pushed against the locker is... Peter? Peter. Come on, weirdo. Beg me to stop without stammering. Leave me alone. Peter stammered, which makes his bully laugh out loud. LOL. This is bad. Oh boy, this is really bad. My urge to kill this man is on high. I can imagine it. Usually I'm the first to admit I don't really care about this thing. Like, I know it's a bad thing to do, and I really wouldn't give a damn. But this is Peter we're talking about. He's an exception. To be honest, I don't have any major problems in my life, and I'd rather have it that way. But I guess that in terms of social interactions, I kinda am self-centered. Like, I don't really focus on how others behave with each other unless it has something to do with me. But this is different. This is Peter. Nobody messes with my Peter. Except for today. But I'm trying to change, so I must ignore the situation. It's for your own good, Peter. I don't want to get involved with Peter. I'd only hurt him. Ever since he came back, although it's only been a week, he's all I can think of. All the memories from our childhood come flowing back. For his own good, I must leave Peter. I decide to leave. But as I leave, I realize that Peter is looking at me. Just ending story times in the BL. But is it? Peter is looking at me. But he has a look in his eyes I have never seen before. A look that says, I'll kill you. I never really liked Max, but I have to admit that he's particularly idiotic today. He's picking on Peter, pressuring him into talking with him, only to make fun of his stammer. Like, do you have nothing better to do? Well, we're doing it the second time around. We gotta make it different. Might as well go, out of the box. This is so dumb. I suppose I'm not really one to speak on the matter, since I didn't tell Peter when he was being bullied, but, I mean... Literally, all Max is doing is bumping his head against Peter. Like, bump, 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 bump. Like, what is he even doing? Is he stupid or something? It's been a whole month now. A whole month. I didn't speak to Peter. In a whole month, he didn't speak to me. I mean, that'd be a bit pointless now. I suppose we really did get disconnected. Although I wonder, what has disconnected us? Was it the years that had gone by? Or the fact that I left him for dead? Maybe I gave up on him. Maybe it wasn't for his safety. Maybe he gave up on me. Come on, weirdo. Max jokes, like he does every day, mocking Peter for something he isn't even responsible for. And if that isn't bad enough, the whole time he's been flicking the side of his forehead. He usually does that, certainly, for Peter to beg him to stop and leave him alone with his stammer. But Peter isn't the type to talk much, so as expected, and on Max's frustration, he never answered. This didn't stop the leader from trying to irritate him, though. Actually, Peter's silence only motivated him to try harder. This is a BL. A BL from enemies to lovers. This is his way of saying, I love you. Dedicated to the cause. But this time, surprisingly, Max must have reached his goal. Peter throws himself on Max, throwing his fist back, and throwing punch after punch at Max, beating him black and blue and bloody. And oh god, is it appealing. I should never have let you go, Peter. Shut up, shut up, shut up! I'm a bit surprised by the scene. Pleasantly so, though. I've never suspected Max to have that much fury in him. Max, in a miserable attempt, tries to fight back, But surprisingly enough, Peter is stronger than him. It takes several classmates to take him off of Mox's body. Ugh, they have to ruin everything, don't they? The leader immediately stands up and looks at Peter with a horrified expression. He had it coming. What the? You're a psycho, dude! A psycho! Peter doesn't answer. He knows he's a psycho, and he's fine with it. Peter looks at me. I immediately turn away. I'm too shy to face him. I can't face him. If I did, he would see how turned on I am. Could I have prevented this? Could I have wanted to prevent this? When our teachers knew about it, they decided to take exemplary measures. They agreed that Max's attitude toward Peter wasn't the greatest, but they considered Peter's reaction disappropriate. Was it, though? Was it? I would say I don't have the answer, but I know I do. It was just what he deserved. But as for other answers, I'm lacking quite a lot of them. Why did Peter come back into my life? He certainly wanted something to happen, right? But what? What was supposed to happen? And also, why did he just leave like that? I mean, he didn't leave because he wanted to. At least I hope so. But once again, not a word, not a sound. Actually, nothing. Maybe he did leave because he wanted to. Oh, that bitch. Just like before. Maybe it's my fault this time. Maybe it was my fault years ago. I don't really know. I just have to contemplate that the emptiness in a relationship, the nothing, the void that it is. And now, I'm left here all alone, wondering everything that could have been. I ask myself, why did the wind bring you back to life? I thought I had beat you. I thought I had killed you. Why did you come back to me? The end. That's my best attempt at a yandere story twist. The end. A shame in this version they didn't get to bury bodies together. Yes, the yandere who failed to protect her lover. She thought she was doing what was best for him by leaving him alone. But she was wrong. And in the last second, she regretted it. All that they could have been. All that they once were. But never would be. The end. Okay. When the wind blew you away. There should be a route where they bury Max. See, yes, once again, go follow Chim on their Twitter and check out the game on the itch, which I'll link in the tweet after this video. Well, you're gonna have to play the game, and that's you have to play the game. I'm losing words. Eventually I'll put a YouTube video up. Eventually I get around to it. And click that notification button. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, y'all. Oh, this was fun. Thank you all for joining me. This was so much fun. But yes, go check out the game yourself. And I'll see you next time for the next one. I think tomorrow we are playing... Let me see, what are we playing tomorrow? Let me check my schedule. It's Wednesday. Tomorrow we're playing A Romantic Murder, the demo. So more murder. So yeah, we'll be doing that tomorrow, but for now, I'll see you later. Yeah, I'd like to see you guys. Murder being a theme. Just wait until next week. I have a whole theme. I'm just gonna reveal it now. Next week is Dark Week. I'm gonna play the Karasu, or Eskramu. I think I'm saying it wrong. Playing another game. Has something to do with souls and purgatory. And I think I'm gonna put a horror game in there. Maybe 2. And I think I'm also gonna do another yandere, an actual yandere one. I think it was called like something cage, heart cage. At least that's the plan so far. So yeah, next week. Yeah, sorry. Next week. Yes, heart cage, yeah. Next week we're going full dark mode for dark yandere horror mode. Taking a turn. So yeah. Spoilers. You get to know first to know. I like doing themes. It's fun. Alright, well yeah. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye. Have a good night or afternoon or morning. Or daytime. Bye.